Yes. Yes. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Just give me 2, 3 minutes. Okay. Few more people are joining in. Thank you for joining in. We have 4 more minutes to go. See, people are joining in. Okay. Just give a couple of minutes, a few more to join in, and then we are ready to start. Welcome, one and all. Just going to put a message in the chat window. Okay. Yes. Okay. I guess we are ready to kickstart the session. Thank you very much for joining in. It's a very good weekend that is coming up. We have been celebrating this week. There's been a lot of celebrations. Tamilians had a Tamil New Year. For Tamilians, அனைவருக்கும் தமிழ் புத்தாண்டு நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள். Um, and then we also had Easter, so we still have an Easter celebration going on, and many of us are still in vacation, enjoying the Easter break. But at this time, the same time, we also have to um, think of peace from the point of view of people that are struggling and are facing grave danger due to certain circumstances that they are put in. The political circumstances that are making them shift around, move around, and also struggle a lot. So we are going to pray for them in a manner that's going to be giving for both us and also for them. So we are going to spread positivity around. What you see here are these paintings that are these collection that I made. So we are going to make one of them today. That's going to be very simple. So this is what I did, and it took me an hour to do this. Each one of it. So I'm just going to show you what are these paintings. So these are already available on my website. You can find the links on my website, and I will also update it once we are done with this session. So we have about 5 to 6 paintings here. uh, that I did. So I've been painting the last week and also testing how simple can we make this journey of learning art and make it entertaining also for you. So in this process, I enjoyed doing these paintings. I enjoyed recording them as well. And yes, I did enjoy, uh, you know, preparing the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to having a wonderful session with you all. So these are the paintings that I did. And you are also going to do just one like this. In a short while from now, you'll be done with it. So just before we get started, I'm welcoming people who have joined in newly. Thank you very much for joining in and supporting this initiative. It's a peace process and it starts with us. Each of us put in a little bit of effort and spread this positive message and spread good wishes around. So thank you very much for joining in. If you have a pencil and a paper, that is good enough to get started. If you have some colors with you, that's also wonderful. I'm going to give you a short note on the things that I have in front of me before we are getting into the drawing and painting itself. The materials that are needed, it's also given in the description box. So if you are really curious on what exactly I'm using and missing some of it, you're always welcome to go back and check there. I know that we have a chat window open. So what I'm going to do is that I will once in a while take a little bit break and see if there is any questions for me and try to answer. So let's now get to the materials, what I'm going to use and what are these materials. So to start with, the paper that I'm using. So this is a simple drawing paper that I'm going to use first to draw and show you certain things, and I will repeat the same thing on a thick paper. What is the difference between this and this? I'll show you. This is a very simple drawing paper, and this is 120 grams. And the paper that I will use finally to draw and paint also is a drawing paper, but the size, the grams is 250 grams that you see. So it's even thicker, and this paper is good for mixed media, multimedia. So you are welcome to try. I have mentioned oil painting. I love oil painting, so I'm going to use oil paints today. But you have watercolors today, that is fantastic. If you have acrylic colors, that's fantastic. Just pastels, that's also fantastic. Or you just want to draw along with us, that is also good. And take a pencil and a eraser and then a paper, you're ready. So this is about the paper that I'm using. And I've clipped it up here so that it doesn't run around. I have some brushes with me. I tend to use some large brushes when I want to go over really fast. This is brush number 7, round, brush number 2, round, and I have brush numbers 1 and 0, and there's a micro brush also. If needed, I use them. So you will see me, switching between the brushes. I will keep you informed when I'm switching between brushes. I have pencils to draw, and I do have an eraser and a sharpener. Regarding the pencils, I will just mention one thing, that if you are really hard-handed or light-handed, it depends on which pencil that you are picking up. And also, if you are very new to this idea of drawing, it's good to pick up something light. I have a lighter pencil 2H. I am going to use a 2B just for the sake of camera. It's not a good idea. So just for the sake of camera and just so that you can see better, I'm going to use a darker pencil while I'm drawing. So that's what I'm going to do. As regards the colors, we have some lovely colors to work on today. we are going to take yellow. It's permanent yellow that I have. Anything yellowy you have, this is fantastic. I'm going to take a nice sky blue. Maybe I will tone it a little bit, so I'm going to add turquoise blue also to it, but it's up to you. You can choose any blue that you like. So it's mainly blue and yellow that's going to be there, and the bird is going to be white, so we will leave the space white, or if needed, sometimes I make mistake too. Then I want to hide it, then I use titanium white. So I might use white if I make a mistake. Yes, you catch me there. It's live, isn't it? So I'll use that white, and I have olive green. Green would do. This is for the, we are going to draw a peace dove, isn't it? The peace dove will have a twig, the olive twig in her beak. So we're going to draw that as well. So a little bit of olive green will be of good use. Because I'm using oil colors, then I have a little bit of cold pressed linseed or raw linseed oil poured into a tin lid like this. Yes, I use this. And the palette that I use is a reusable palette, or use and throw palette, if I may put it correctly. So I use it fully until it's just, totally blocked, and then I throw the paper away. So I have some colors left over. I might use some of these that are already here. So this is about the palette and the medium. If you are using acrylic or watercolors, then instead of oil, you will have water with you. Yeah, that's good. So have a little bit of water by the side to clean and also to mix, and then we are ready. So I'm going to take this away so that we get started with the drawing first. Yes. Okay. So to draw, I'm going to use a drawing paper so I can draw and show you in a thicker way how the design is going to be, and then I will draw this again on paper where I'm going to paint as well. Okay. Fantastic. Those who have joined new, thank you very much for joining in. So I am going to draw. Oh, we are going to draw a piece down like this, isn't it? So how difficult is it? How easy is it? Can we make it easy for you? So I am going to give you a technique to start with. When I do not know what to do, I'd like to start with a circle. And I know a lot of people say, oh, I don't know how to make a circle. So here are some tips and tricks on making the circle. Yes. So I'm holding the pencil. I'm not going to draw anything right away. I will just start moving my hand around like this. Can we move our hand around the paper without making anything? Move our hand around. Okay. Move it around like a circle. So it's moving in a circle. Okay. Maybe try to make the circle slightly smaller because we don't want it to be too big a circle. We want it to be smaller. So I'm just, making moves here. Smaller ones, and smaller ones. And then I am going to start dropping the pencil close to my paper. It's running along now because I'm just moving around. There you go. I have a circle. This is the kind of circle that we want to make now. And I'm going to make a similar circle on the one right away because and I use a very light pencil because this is where I'm going to paint, isn't it? So I'll make a very light one. You might not see it properly, but that's okay. You can learn through this, the one that I have in the drawing pad. So I've made a very light circle for myself here. The reason we are making lighter circles that we are going to rub off these circles. These circles are guiding lines. Yeah, we don't really need them. Once we are done making the dough, the piece dough, we will just erase this. Okay, so I'm thinking now I want to make the head of the bird slightly away. So I'm just taking this angle. In this corner of this circle, I'm going to make another circle. How? Again, let's do round and round and round and round. Can I enter? Okay, I'm going to enter and make this circle slightly like this. So this is exactly what I have done. Placed this small circle slightly away from the big circle. I'm doing the same thing here and a lighter front because I will be able to rub it off easily. Okay, that's done. I have one small circle, one big circle. Okay, can we make few more circles around? So where is the bird? It will come up. It will come up. Yeah. So we're going to make some nice circles here. And I want to make a circle this time slightly closer to this, like this, crossing this. And I want to make another one crossing this, smaller. So it's getting smaller and smaller. It's going in a direction. And another one even smaller. Okay, that is a good one. These are circles, still circles. So I'm going to make another circle right below, slightly bigger one. I think I have some shape now. It does look funny, but yeah, it might turn into a bird short while. So I'm going to repeat the same thing in my painting paper lightly for my own benefit so I can rub off easily. So I made the circle. A smaller circle and then a big circle here. That's it. I did it. Now I am going to connect these circles. You're going to connect these circles and start making the bird. Can we see how it connects? So here, along the end of the circle, I am going to bring a curved line. A curved line in both the sides. There you go. Okay. And now I'm going to take this curved line on the top. I'm going to take it on the top, touching the edge of these circles, going straight. Okay. Here, I don't want it too big. This is really big. The circle's curve. So I'm going to come slightly into it. This is the line. So I'm thickening the line so you can see better. Okay. And then I will bring this line outside this. I'll put a line also outside this circle, touching the edge of the circle. So there you go. You have the tail of the bird. I can make it like a small U. It's up to you. You can make U, V, whatever shapes that you like to connect these two lines. Then we are ready with the tail of the bird. So I'm going to now bring this also here like a triangle. So it's not going to come directly touching this end of the circle. It's going to be slightly away from the circle like this. So I'm going to make slight U shapes or something. It's up to you to decide, and bring it here, crossing this circle. There we go. We are done with this. Then there is a beak. So I put a small V for the beak. I'm going to repeat the same thing there in my painting paper. Let's see. I put the neck. It's slightly lighter. You might not see it better. That's okay. You have this to go with. So I am going along the circle and reducing the size here, bringing it along, and making the U sort of a thing. Okay, so here I bring the curves along. This is so light you cannot see much of it, but I'm basically repeating it here. Yeah, so we have, what do we have here? We have the shape of the bird. We have the shape of the wing, but birds have two wings. The peace-dove has two wings. So here I am going to make a space. So I'm going to imagine there is half a circle here, not a full circle. Half a circle right behind. And I'll do another two circles that are slightly little. And then from behind the neck of the bird, I'm going to go around these three circles and go up. Okay, I went up. How should I come down? I can make a triangle sort of a thing and maybe come down like this, making small little U's along the line. So I think we are done making the bird. We can rub off these circles. We don't need the circles anymore. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Make the circle. Bring it up. And yeah, bring it down. So the circles that I do not need, I'm going to rub off. It's going to be hard rubbing off a darker pencil. That's exactly why I did not choose to use the dark pencil directly on the painting paper. I'll show you what happens. So I managed to rub off, but still you can see a little bit of this line. So I'm rubbing off all these lines that I do not need. It's a hard job rubbing off. I don't need these circles anymore. I'm rubbing them off, but can you see that it doesn't look so good? That's why do not use a darker pencil when you're drawing for the first time and you want to rub off many things. Especially when I mentioned the paper. Paper, how many grams is the paper? The paper weight matters. If the paper is so light, then it's so easy that it's going to get torn off anytime now that we are rubbing off so much. So I did rub off, but it doesn't look good. Yeah, I knew it, and that's exactly why I am using the lighter pencil on the painting paper, so it's easier to rub off, and I'll show you just in a bit. Okay, so I have rubbed off and it looks like a bird now. I just made a slight adjustment here on the curve close to the wing, so it's now looking like a bird. So I managed to do this, and I still have the impressions of the thick pencil that I made in my paper. I'm going to do the rubbing off again here in the lighter area, the lighter pencil that I used. This is easy to rub off. It doesn't show much because I used a lighter pencil. Rubbing off unwanted circles. Okay, good. This is done. Now the shape is fine for me here. I'm adjusting this. The bird. Maybe I can rub off a little bit more before we are ready to paint on. So when you paint on, you should have a clean paper. So if you have some dust from the rubbing, the erasing, try to remove it clean. Make the table clean before you are ready to get started with the paint. So I think I have done enough rubbing off here. Slightly little more, maybe a very slight impression that I want to take out before I'm ready to start painting. Yes, so I'm ready to start painting. Here you don't see much of the bird because it's so light. It helps for me to have this light. I'm going to get started with yellow color. I have it already with me here and it's still wet from last session that I did, recording that I did. So I'm going to take the yellow in brush number 0. Yes, brush number 0. If you have a thin brush, it's good. So I'm going to only draw, just watch. I'm not going to draw the whole edge of the bird. I'm going to draw only the bottom edge of the bird with this very nicely. And I will stop near the tummy of the bird. Yes, this is where I'm going to stop. Stopping here. So if you have a ruler, if you need a ruler, then it's okay to use a ruler or a scale to draw the line. I'm just drawing an imaginary line here, straight line. So this is where it's going to be yellow. The bottom part of it is going to be yellow. Yes. This is going to be yellow. This side is going to be yellow, but not inside of the bird. The bird is fairly white. So now I'll move on to a bigger brush to do this yellow color. Taking a little bit of oil. When I paint, I make sure I'm not going to enter this space where the bird is. If you look at the way I move on, in one stretch, I try not to move here and there, hither and thither, just going straight motions. Can you see how the brush is moving? Just watch how the brush is moving. So it's a very nice, clean and smooth move to make sure that this side is totally yellow. And I'm going to go and take some more of the yellow. The same thing. Paint along. Enjoy painting. Do it smooth and fine, nicely. Okay. And when you come close to the bird, just make sure that you don't touch this. There is another trick. If you are not so comfortable, you can use a tissue paper to place it here to hide this area, or any other paper to hide the area. That is also an easy way to do it, but try not to go inside the bird. Did this. I'm going to continue doing the same thing here. So I need a little more of this yellow. I'm going to take it. When you put the brush, also make sure that you don't put it on top of the painting, so it's slightly away. You want the color going in other directions. Yeah. So let me know how you're enjoying this. Finding it difficult. If you want me to stop and say something or answer any questions, you can also ask questions. So what are we painting this for? We're painting for world peace. Actually, if you have already guessed, what are these colors that we are painting? We said it's yellow and sky blue. So we are painting the flag of a nation. What nation is this? A beautiful nation that is under turmoil, that is under oppression now. Ukraine. We are wishing for peace for Ukraine and spreading this positive message of love and peace. Just watch how the brush is moving. This is exactly how you learn in the basic level to move the brush along in one direction. So not this way and not that way and not this way and that way. So try to move in one direction first. There are methods. I'm not saying that we don't have methods to use it differently. We do. But for now, when you're practicing, it's better to use only one direction. Once you're thorough with this idea, you can try other methods also. Okay, painting along. Because it's oil color, I use it directly. Um, if I'm using it again on a large canvas, or if I'm using an acrylic or watercolor, then I would actually mix separately and then paint. So depending upon what you are trying to do, you could also try to plan, mix the color, and then start painting. Okay, I think I am nearly there with the yellow, and make sure that I'm not touching the bird. Okay, survived half of it. Isn't that simple? Okay, now I am going to wipe off this brush completely. If you are using watercolors or acrylic colors, if you have something to wash them um, first before you get to the other color. What is the other color? It's sky blue. I'm just making sure that there is no yellow left over before I get started with the sky blue. I have some space left here for the sky blue. I will take it, and like I said, to the sky blue, I might add a tint of turquoise blue and see how it looks. Maybe if I don't like it, I will not use it. I want to try that. So I took sky blue, and if you do not have sky blue, maybe you have ultramarine blue, light blue, whatever is good for you, you can use. And if the blue is so dark, you want to lighten it up, what will you use to lighten it up? You can use a white to lighten it up. So I'm going to see how it goes, adding a bit of turquoise blue to this. I think it looks okay. So I'm going to take that, but I think it's okay to just use a simple blue. Not necessarily that you need to mix colors like I did. Yeah? I'm just choosing to try something new here. That's why. So I'm going over the other side of it. So this is a little bit tricky because you have a lot of U's to go over. Be careful. You're not going to go inside the wing of the bird. So I'm only painting outside, not inside. Got to the head of the bird. There is still one object to be drawn on this. So, but then it's going to be green, so it's going to mix with the blue. Even if you have an oil color or acrylic, if it's still wet, it will mix with the blue. So don't worry about the green. We're going to work on only the blue now. So I did this. I want to do this. This is a very careful line that I want to draw of this wing. There you go. We are now done with the outline of the bird. Was that simple? You can use the same brush because there are layers that are very tiny and you don't want to spoil them by using a bigger brush. Just go carefully and fill them in. Yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the larger brush. Okay, so I move on to a larger brush and I'm going to just place this away. This brush has got yellow yet, so I have to wipe off properly. So much of yellow, so I'm trying to remove as much as possible before I use this. Because it's an oil color, the way I would wash it is to go and take it and wash it with cleaning liquid. It will take a while for me to wash and I would rather prefer to go on with the session. So I'm going to use the same brush. It's a risk, but I'm sure that I have taken out as much as the color that is there in the brush, so it's clean enough for me to continue with the blue, and I go on mixing this blue. I'm ready to go and paint, so I'm just being slightly careful, seeing where I want to move the brush around. I can take these things away. They are just disturbing. Pencils I don't need anymore. Clear the desk. So it's also a clean and clear method. Clear the desk of the things that are not needing anymore. Okay, the top side of it is done, so I can put the clip back. I'm going to go over the tricky area between the wings. That's where you want to go a little faster and then you figure out you have touched the bird. The backup plan, if you have touched the bird, is that you use the white to try and cover when it is dry, after it gets dry. So here you need to be very careful because you know what happens to the blue that goes on top of the yellow? It turns green. So it can easily turn green if you're careless about it. So very careful when you come close to the yellow side of the paper. Okay, that's the last part here before I go to the other side. I just want to check that line is perfect. This side is okay. I think I have just one more side to go before we are done with the painting. Look at us, how we are doing with the time. Are we good? Again, I'm going to be very careful when I come close to the yellow. I don't want to spoil it. So this is about being patient, breathing in, breathing out, relaxing, enjoying the process. We are creating something good. We are wishing for world peace. We're doing something very good today together. Thank yourself. Thank God for this moment. Okay. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. I'm getting some messages from people who are okay. All right. Yes, if you want me to, I'm speaking to many people, and I know that you guys are messaging me on WhatsApp. Thank you very much for that. Dev साहब, thank you for joining in. हाँ, हिंदी में भी बात करेंगे. Uh, I can explain in Hindi as well and Tamil as well. Uh, yeah, but for the benefit of people who are watching from other countries, we are speaking in English. I'm so happy that you have joined in. Thank you very much. Thank you for the support. So if I have to explain in Hindi, मैंने नीले रंग इस्तेमाल किया है ऊपर और पीला रंग नीचे. ये क्या है? ये यूक्रेन करके एक देश है, उसका झंडा है ये. उसका झंडा बना रहे हैं. क्यों बना रहे हैं? यूक्रेन की देश में अभी जो चल रहा है, यूक्रेन के देश में क्या चल रहा है पता है? बच्चों के लिए मैं बता रही हूँ कि वहां पे एक वॉर चल रही है. हम ये चाहते हैं कि झगड़ा ना हो. तो इसीलिए हम बस प्रेयर कर रहे हैं और बोल रहे हैं कि झगड़ा जल्दी से बंद हो जाए. So we are, for the children that are watching, I know kids that are watching, so what are we trying to do here? We are doing the painting of this flag of Ukraine and with the peace bird. Peace Dao. It's a symbol of peace. Wishing for peace for Ukraine, praying for safe transit of people of Ukraine through this tough journey that they are going through. I'm so happy that children are joining in here. Your wish is the most genuine, the most powerful wish. Yeah. Thank you, Emily, for joining in. Okay, good. So, if you want me to wait for you, I can wait a little bit before I make the olive twig. So I made a little bit of mistake here, so I'm trying to clean it up. I'll use another brush. I'm taking white, titanium white. I have a bit of it. I'm just trying to hide it off here because I made a bit of an error here. It's going to look slightly different. So I think I need to, okay, the paper white is different from what you have as white. If you have white color, just be aware that it is slightly different. The color is different. It's titanium white. Most of you children might have colors that are the color packs that are having a white that is slightly on the yellowy side. It's not a pure white that you will see. Yeah. So I'm just doing that here. I'm painting it off here because I made a mistake. If you have not done mistakes like me, then you can actually go ahead and not paint it. Maybe I would like to paint it properly once with white, titanium white. Okay, super. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. So Dave's daughter is going to join in. Good. I'm painting white on a white paper, so it looks like I'm doing nothing, but actually it's white that I'm painting to make sure that this section is also done properly, the white. I know, okay, Dave. Okay, thank you for the message, Dave. I know Sanvi is also participating, and thank you for joining, Sanu. I'm nearly there, done with the white colored peas dough bird. If you do not have a white color, maybe you can give a highlight with a light yellow, very light yellow, or so. It's up to you how you want it to look like. Yeah, it's your piece dough. I know some of you might not have white as a color in your coloring sets. It depends upon what coloring set you're using. So it is okay if you do not have a white. Try to leave this blank or try to paint something very light to give a shade. So I have painted white and I want to use this blue to put the eye. So going to be a dot. It's going to be a dot. So I'm going to go, where should I go? It'll be right here in the head, close to the beak. I just put a nice dot. Okay, there you go. We have the eye. We are nearly done. So what is now pending? It's only the twig. I'm going to do the twig, and if you want to draw with a pencil, I can show you how to draw with a pencil and make the twig. So I'm just moving this paper away slightly a bit. So I'm going to draw what I'm going to do in there. I'm going to paint directly, but then here I want to draw for those who are learning for the first time. So the beak, there is this V that we put, isn't it? In the V, we are going to make a small C. Okay, so crossing through the V, we are going to make a curve. We'll make a curve, and then the tip of this curve, we are going to make a small little oval shape. So I could do that on both the sides, and there you go. You start building the leaves. Isn't that simple? Both sides, that's it. This is what I'm going to do in the paint, but I'll paint directly using the olive green. And what's going to happen is that because we used blue and I'm going to paint on top of it, it's going to become slightly darker green. It will look lovely. So what I did, I can do it again to show you what I did. I just made a C, a slight curve, and on the curve, onto the left and the right side, I started making these bumps, or you can make it like a circle, make it like an oval shape, anything that you like. That's becoming a leaf then. Yes? Wasn't that easy? Both sides. We're going to do that same thing on the painting. Can we do that now? If the paint is wet, you can wait until it gets dry and then do it later also. So just watch. I'm going to mark the line here very lightly, ever so lightly. And I am going to do it directly with the brush. So what do I need to do? I need to wipe the brush or clean the brush depending upon what color you're using. So I have wiped it off clean. I'm going back to olive green. I've got a bit of olive green with me ready here, so I don't have to go and take some more. But if you haven't taken green before, you can pick it up and put it, transfer it to your palette, and then to the paper. So I've taken a bit of this olive green, and I'm going to make that nice C come through. And I want to make it come through this yellow also. So I've done this nicely. I'm going to make this nice little circles or oval shapes on both sides, so it starts looking like leaves on both sides. Wasn't that simple and easy to try? Yes. So there you go. We're nearly there. We're done. I'm going to do one more check before I finish. Have I missed anything? Yes, I have missed certain things. Not too big, but slight corrections needed. There is some place where there's a blue and it has to be hidden to white. I'm doing that. So always check your work before you say I'm finished. small little areas that I want to finish. Titanium white. I'm just going over the bird to make sure that I've finished the sides nicely, neatly. Okay. And then between the yellow and the blue, there are some places where it doesn't look perfect. So I think I need to rework on them. I am going to switch the brush again, or clean the brush maybe. Take another brush maybe. I'll take another brush. If you have one or two brushes only, to wash nicely. You don't want it mixing. You're nearly there. I'm making sure that I finish it nicely. Maybe the yellow I want to do properly, so I'm taking another brush to neatly do the yellow side of it. See, it easily turns green when it goes close to the blue. So just be aware of that. I'm nearly there. How about you? Okay, I can see that Dev, is that your daughter, Devashri? Welcome, Devashri. Yes, so I'm nearly there. I am done. So after you are done, though I'm going to close the this session, you remember to wash off nicely, put everything back nicely, nice and clean, and let it dry. And also take pictures and share it with me. The email address to share it, I'm going to mention here. It's called support at the GLAC Studio. For the parents that are supporting their children, you can note it down here. I am typing it at the GLACstudio.tk. If you already have my WhatsApp number, you can always send it. That's easy. But this is also good if you do not have one. Support at the GLACstudio.tk is where you can send in the pictures of what your children have done. So let's quickly go over what we did today. So we wished for peace. We did something good together. We learned how to draw a bird. So we used something called circles. We made circles to place circles in different forms and then make it into a shape of a bird. And this is the dowel. It's a piece dowel that we are making. So we made that. And once we made that, we made sure that this dowel is staying white. So we didn't paint over it, or we painted only with white. we did the outer layer with yellow only in the bottom, and we painted with yellow, and we did the outer layer with blue, sky blue, and we painted the top with sky blue, and then we did a small twig in the beak of the bird. What is this we have painted? We have painted the peace dove on the Ukrainian flag, wishing for, sending our best wishes, sending our prayers and our meditative, artistic wishes, if I may say so, to Ukraine and the people of Ukraine that are going through a stressful situation, a horrid situation now, and we are wishing that things will resolve so soon. Thank you very much for joining in. I'm going to stay here for 5 more minutes to see if there are any questions coming up, any suggestions coming up, and then I will log off. Yep. Priyanka, Sanu, anything from your side? Dev, Devashri, Anna, Emily, and I do not know, few more have joined in, but I do not know the names. So, yeah, whoever else is joined in and is trying along, thank you for joining in. If you have any questions, you can place. That's a good question. How often would I be doing this session? This was my first experimental session, Dave. And I did want to, oh, okay, that is nice. That is nice. Thank you. Thank you. We wanted to see how this works and how children like this. And I'm so happy that children participated. Today being a Friday, I think it's a evening in APAC countries, afternoon in some countries. It's a holiday weekend here. I think I would try to use Saturdays instead to try something like this more and more. And okay, no problem. I think it's okay. We are going to also share this. Possibly this will be available on the YouTube already there live. So once this recording is done, it should be already there without any edit. We have not recorded as such, but I think it should be there. Like many other YouTube videos, you can watch it again. And also let's see the possibilities of putting this up as frequently as possible and as simple as possible with contents that is interesting for children. And if you know more people that would be joining in, Dev, please do share. I've been putting it only recently because this is an experiment that we have been doing also. When I started out with this piece collection, I intended that it becomes really easy for people that do not know art. And it took an hour to try, so I decided let's try it live and see how it goes. And this was the experiment. I'm happy that people are joining in and also showing so much interest in doing it along, especially little ones. So much love to all of you. Thank you for joining in. And yes, we will make this available as frequently as possible for kids. Sanvi had a great time. Thanks. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Thank you. Anna is saying we all enjoy a lot the class. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you. That is for, I think Emily liked it. Thank you so much. And yes, we will try to make this possible as frequently as we can. So kids can join in and enjoy a free class and learn something basic. So I'll come back with some easy content for them that is also informative in a manner, and they are finding it more than entertainment and infotainment, and they get to become a part of this, the global responsibility. We are all a part of this. I would like so much that all of us participate equally. And yes, I will come back with some more ideas, and then oh, thank you so much. You made it very simple to understand. Showing practically help children to do it better. Thank you so much for your feedback, Dave. Lovely to be connected again with you in this format. Yes, I will not take much of your evening time, afternoon time. Enjoy your vacation, and continue painting. Be painting all the time whenever you can. It's a peaceful journey that brings peace and happiness to not only you, but also to everyone around you. It can only do good. Yeah, paint on, keep painting on, and thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye bye.